In the journey of life, it is not uncommon to find ourselves entangled in repetitive cycles. We may resolve to initiate change and convince ourselves that we will not revisit past mistakes. Yet, time after time, we find ourselves confronting the same issues. This begs the question, why do we become ensnared in these recurring patterns, making identical mistakes and harboring the same regrets? Rather than assigning blame, insights from Buddhist philosophy suggest a transformative path, one of gentle awakening. The Buddha's teachings reveal profound understanding of human struggle without casting judgment. He recognized that suffering arises from a state described as avidya, or ignorance. This term encapsulates a lack of clear understanding or insight. Our tendency to repeat errors is not an indication of inherent flaws. Instead, it reflects an aspect of ourselves that has not yet fully awakened to awareness. When we operate on automation, our responses to life's challenges are often guided by outdated perceptions and unexamined habits. This is akin to navigating a dimly lit room where one repeatedly collides with furniture until the light is switched on. Awareness is that illuminating force. In the absence of mindfulness, we can easily find ourselves swept away by emotional currents or ingrained patterns. Mindfulness serves as a tool for discernment, allowing us to explore the roots of our behaviors. Why did I respond in that manner? What led me back to this situation? What am I truly seeking? Such inquiries are pivotal, offering an initial spark of clarity. As the Buddha articulated, our mental inclinations are shaped by what we habitually engage with. If we persistently nurture fearful thoughts and insecurities, they inevitably grow stronger. Conversely, when we cultivate wisdom, albeit through the smallest of insights, we begin to perceive reality with greater clarity and respond with awareness rather than impulsiveness. Another contributing factor to recurring mistakes is tanha, which translates to craving or attachment. This notion of craving extends beyond mere people or material possessions. It encompasses our attachments to emotional states, social validation, and illusory controls over our lives. We often chase short-term gratification, fully aware that such pursuits may detract from our long-term well-being. The allure of familiarity, even when it is detrimental, can feel more secure than the healing that lies in the unknown. Consider someone who repeatedly returns to a toxic relationship not out of ignorance but due to an emotional attachment to an idealized notion of love. This phenomenon exemplifies the entrapment of craving, which clouds our judgment and binds us to cycles of suffering. The Buddha insightfully remarked, "From craving arises sorrow. From craving arises fear. For one who is free from craving, there's no sorrow or fear." Liberation begins when we acknowledge that not all desires align with our true well-being. By consciously reducing our cravings, we create space for clarity, healing, and tranquility. A third, yet equally subtle factor is the concept of habit energy, the ingrained patterns formed by our historical thoughts, words, and actions. In Buddhism, this is related to karma not as a punitive force but as the cumulative effect of our choices. Each time we respond with habitual patterns, be it through anger, avoidance, or self-reproach, we reinforce neural pathways in our minds. Thus, when we experience fatigue, stress, or a lack of awareness, we often revert to the easiest, most familiar responses. This tendency leads to instances where individuals might exclaim, "I didn't even think about it, I just reacted again." Such moments are not failures, rather, they are occurrences driven by the influence of habit energy. However, it is crucial to remember that karma is not static, it is adaptable. It shifts in response to self-awareness, intention, and even the smallest efforts towards change. The Buddha wisely stated, "Drop by drop, the water pot is filled," emphasizing that incremental positive actions can engender profound transformation. Even a solitary mindful breath, a kind gesture, or a momentary pause before reacting can initiate change. Each small choice accumulates, eventually shaping our broader path. You are not defined by your mistakes. Rather, they provide opportunities for deeper reflection, self-compassion, and a more luminous outlook. The Buddha's teachings did not demand perfection. Instead, he emphasized the importance of awareness, mindful observation, informed decision-making, and the fortitude to begin again after setbacks. So, if you find yourself revisiting a familiar crossroads today, take a moment to pause and breathe. You are not retracing your steps, you are advancing with newfound insight. With each intentional breath and conscious decision, you sow the seeds of peace, clarity, and freedom. The Buddha illustrated that just as a candle requires fire to illuminate, human beings require a spiritual dimension to truly flourish. If this discourse resonates with you, I invite you to join us on this enlightening journey. Subscribe, reflect, and return whenever your spirit yearns for a moment of introspection and serenity.